Hello there, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk and my latest Patron requested review. This one is from Jaime Honeycutt, a really great patron of mine, and yeah, he's requested The Shining. Now, I have been going through all the Stanley Kubrick movies, as some of you may know. I've already done a video on The Shining. I looked into the themes of it. So I wasn't really going to revisit this as a review. I wasn't going to do a straight up review for this because I felt like I dealt with a lot of what I wanted to say about the film in that video. But Jamie wanted a review, so I'm quite happy to oblige, because actually it does give me a chance to talk about a few things I didn't talk about, things I skimmed over in that other video. So yeah, The Shining. The Shining is my favourite horror film of all time. It kind of fluctuates. Sometimes, depending on my mood, it's Silence of the Lambs. Other times, it's The Shining. But yeah, I think anyone who says this is the best horror film ever made, I've got no argument with that. I love this film. I think it's great. I think it is definitely a study on the nature of evil. I'm not going to go into this too much because, like I say, I did a whole video on it. But it is. It's about how evil is able to infiltrate the human soul when we are weak, when we are at our lowest, when we just, I guess, don't have our mind focused on the things that we should have our minds focused on. We get that in this central character of Jack Torrance, who clearly got a lot of troubles in his history, and he's trying to escape in many ways by going to this hotel. But the things that he's got troubles with, he's kind of taken with him, which is his family. So evil, the presence of evil being in this hotel, uses that against him, twists him and turns him into, something very ugly and very scary. Shelley Duvall in this is fantastic as well. Now, I cannot believe she was nominated for a Raspberry Award. Yeah, true. Other nominees throughout the years who've had it, like Danny DeVito for the Penguin in Batman Returns. There's Ben Affleck recently for Batman. I hate the Raspberry Awards. I do. I hate them. They gave Shelley Duvall a nomination for The Shining, and I think they're way off base. What she does here in this role is just brilliant, and it's kind of real. If you look behind the scenes, if you look at the way Kubrick pushed her, you get the sense she isn't really acting. What you see on screen is genuine. She's at the end of her tether. She is a broken woman, and she is absolutely hysterical. And that's exactly what is required from a role like this, from someone who is in such isolation with no way out, and the person that's supposed to love her turning against her. I think she gets all the right emotional beats. Whether that came from her or just through, like I say, the sheer bloody-mindedness of Kubrick kind of pushing her to that edge, which does raise its own moral questions about how far a director should go. Regardless of all that stuff, she gets there, and yeah, it's very believable and it's very raw. Kubrick is known for his wide angles. He shoots most of his stuff in wide angles. And that's why he fills the frame. That's why he has to be so detailed. He has to show such an attention to detail, because when you're going to go wide like that, everything on screen is then wide open for you to look at, to see, to check the details. So if you don't fill in those details in the screen, a wide angle is really going to reveal that. So yeah, making this set, this hotel, a lot of it was shot at a real hotel, but then a lot of it in the interiors, that was all set, and those sets are beautiful. They're brilliant. Like I say, they're made for a wide-angle lens to just roam around, and so Kubrick fills them with detail, and he makes this hotel a character. The hotel is as much of a character in this story as Jack Torrance or his wife. It's just a constant sense of dread that runs throughout this film, and again, I think that's helped by those wide shots. Seeing Danny Torrance navigate these corridors on his little tricycle, and you just being right behind him in that wide, coming round corners, you never know what's going to pop drop out, but you're always expecting it. You're always waiting for something to literally come out and go boo. But saying that, this isn't a film about jump scares. You know, it doesn't do that. It doesn't go boo at you. What it does is it reveals things slowly. It slowly peels back these layers, and that kind of adds to the creepiness because you don't know what's coming. You know, I remember seeing this for the first time in my early teenage years, and that shower scene when he goes in, you know, and there's the attractive woman there, and it turns into that old hag. It just, yeah, that's not a jump scare moment. It's something that is kind of it's given to you in a very slow process, in slow motion. In fact, you know, the way that woman comes out of the shower, it's all kind of it's not kind of high speed stuff going on. It's not MTV style cutting. It's very slowly revealed, and it just causes a great sense of unease, of dread, of creepiness throughout, and that's why for me it is the best horror film of all time. The film plays with your expectations as well, like the character played by Scatman Crothers. You know, he's the guy who talks to the son about the gift that he has. You know, calls it the Shining kind of thing, and they set him up throughout the film as someone who's essentially going to be the rescuer. You know, you see this a lot in horror movies where, you know, someone comes, they've been kind of set up and then they come back and then help out at the end. But yeah, when he gets there, it's a pretty famous scene by now. If you've not seen this by now, I really don't know what you're doing. But yeah, it was quite a shock. Anyway, I like seeing this for the first time way back when. I always remember just being absolutely horrified. I think I was about 12 or 13 years old when I first saw this, and yeah, seeing that axe go in and just and it adds as well to that fear that you have for this family, for the wife and the child, because this guy was their help. You know, they're isolated. That really plays into that sense of dread as well. You know, just being cut off from the world. And then finally having someone from the outside coming in who can offer help, and boom, no sooner does he get there than he's gone. And it kind of leaves you in this cold place where you just think, what are they going to do? What are this kid, this young boy, and this wife who is kind of broken down going to do against this absolute madman? Stephen King is obviously very famous for not liking Kubrick's version of the film, so much so that he would go on to make his own later on. I did see that way back when, and I remember not thinking that much of it, to be honest, and I wasn't impressed with the ending, which seemed to want to go big, wanted to go for the Hollywood explosion kind of stuff, you know, and I thought that was the wrong way to go. I much prefer the ending here, in which the son outsmarts the father. Definitely a landmark horror film, my favourite horror film. As I've said, I have no choice but to give this 5 out of 5. There you go, there is my review of The Shining. Thank you, Jamie, for requesting this. It was nice to revisit it once again, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure I've been able to say much more than what's already been said by so many people over the years, because this film has obviously been discussed ad nauseum, but I hope my 2 pennies worth was enjoyable enough for you. Thank you for the request, and thank you to you guys out there for watching. Yeah, please do subscribe if you've not already, and go over to Patreon, check out the perks that I've got for you guys over there, and until next time, cracking.